Hey everybody, welcome to NASCAR Theater 350. I'm your pal Val. With me is the man, the myth, the legend, PSA and White Castle Hall of Famer Logan. Logan, how are you today?
I think I've got sand in my underwear.
I think it's highly possible. So we're gonna watch the 1952 Daytona Beach and Road Course with commentary.
And it's going
Uh,
to be exciting.
it's gonna be exciting. This was February 10th, 1952. It was a little bit a while ago, and everybody associates Daytona with Daytona 500, but before they built Daytona, um, they actually raced on the beach, which was part beach, part road. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. It was 2 miles of pavement, 2 miles of beach, and then I think what they say
A little bit of the
the
corners.
yeah, they had the itty bitty Martinsville corners.
Yeah, for like 4.1 miles.
Yes,
So
so pretty
it,
cool.
it- yeah, it was pretty interesting. And let's because we have I guess the hindsight of being able to, we can actually see what happened before we watched the commentary to kind of get an idea what was going on. Marshall Teague was our winner. There were 61 cars in that race. That was a lot of cars.
Yeah, and lots of Hall of Famers in there too.
Yeah, and they only paid out the top 40 for anywhere from $1,500 for first place, 1,000 for second, 600 for third, all the way down to, it looks like position 11, only 50 bucks, and then position, is it 21, $25.
Yep. The
And
tr-
so for everybody with 41 and down, you either got a broken car and no money, and you got to try to figure out how to get home.
yeah, and you can see at the bottom, Smokey Purser. He had an injury, so not only did he have a busted car, made no money, he had to go to the hospital and get his arm fixed.
But in his defense, it was a lot cheaper back then in the hospital than
Oh, do we know it?
than now. So this is really cool. This is race number two of the 1952 season, which consisted of actually 34 races.
Hmm. So, and I think the champion this year in 52 was going to be Tim Flock. So we'll see him in here. And little does he know at the time he's going to win the championship.
Which is so cool. And this is scheduled for 49 laps, but you can't hold Mother Nature back, and the tide comes in, so they have to shorten the race.
Yeah. You think they would have timed that better, but they didn't.
Well,
Well,
I
they,
mean,
well,
it
they
wasn't
know,
like they
they
got a
know
bunch of.
the schedule.
I guess. Well, I guess they should. I don't
They
know. Maybe
should
there
have.
was a delay, but I'm saying there was no satellites and other stuff. But the tide's been around for a while, so you would think maybe France wasn't a fisherman, so
Maybe not. I don't know.
when they set those schedules, I don't know when those farmer almanacs come out. But anyway, so all right, let me get this going here, and we will.
Yeah, there's a lot of like I said, a lot of these participants, are Hall of Famers. So this is a really cool race to see what these cars look like back in the day.
Definitely. So we're going to start up, and hopefully let me know, Logan, if there's any audio issues, if I need to increase it.
The great
You're good.
drivers of the NASCAR racing fraternity are gunning their
Here we
cars
go.
around Daytona Beach, Florida, in preparation for one of the South's
Beep.
biggest sports events, the Grand National Championship race for strictly stock cars. Marshall Teague in number 6, one-time winner of the race, and Mike Claypack in number 4 are top contenders in today's classic. 200 miles
All right,
around a
number 4,
4-mile course,
Harvick.
which is half beach.
Yep.
Say
I've got
cheese.
Tension mounts
I've
during the
got my eye
time
camera.
trials. Cars whiz down the beach 100 to 110
Little
miles an hour.
qualifying.
This is how it looks to our
Get me
cameraman
out
from
of
the
here!
inside, speeding along a measured mile.
Hey, look over there.
Jim Reed zooms along the smooth, hard-packed sand and past the flags marking the end of the mile.
It looks
Time
like the tide's
trials are
coming
over.
already.
Yeah, it
Oh,
does.
here's a little
Service is still
construction.
up to bring the cars off the back
Look at that
course,
grandstand back
which is
there.
2 miles up the beach and
That's
I
Bill
paid
10
all
miles
this.
France
back from
grandstand.
paved road, which is
Yeah,
about
I paid
100
all this
yards
money for
inland
watching the
behind the
tractor.
sand dunes.
I love you.
The pits and the starting lines are on the beach. Here, feverish activity has begun in preparation for the race. Pat Kirkwood is on the pole today. He
My
qualified
pants are going to fall down because I'm using my
Assembly
belt.
Line Chrysler at
Smoking
just
will
under
kill you.
111 miles an hour. Women are proud of their
Hello.
men. I vow to you,
We're
Sir
not
Galahad,
worthy.
for your
We're not
great deeds of
worthy.
Speed and daring. As a matter of
You
fact,
made it.
racing is quite often a family affair, as we shall see in the batter which follows.
I'm digging the China.
This the famous team of the Bach brothers?
No, it's the
I guess
Jonas
you call them
Brothers.
famous. Well, that's what I hear. They tell me you're a pretty famous outfit. This is what? Bob and Tim and Bonnie. Bonnie, that's right. They tell me that this whole family of Flocks is a great bunch of racers and busy in all kinds of things that furnishes people with
You
thrills.
notice
Is
that
that
Bob
right?
has that neck
Well, we
brace
tried
on.
to, yes.
Yeah, he
How long
does.
have you been in the
He
racing
doesn't race
business,
again until
Bonnie?
like
Since
August of
1938. And what have you been
51.
doing in that time?
52.
Just
Wow.
racing stock cars, and I have race cars, but not very much. I see. Well, didn't you win some titles in the NASCAR races? In 1947, I won the NASCAR championship. In 48, I was second. 49, I won the championship again. And in 1951, I was second. Well, you've done
I'm
pretty
a
well
bad man.
during that time. Yes. How about you, Bob?
I won a lot of racing, but no
championship.
no championship.
Well,
That's
you
right.
can't all win all the championships, I suppose.
right.
How about you, Tim?
Well, I'm same as Bob. I won an awful lot of races, but I never won the championship. I'm
Oh,
gonna be
thank you very
this year,
much.
though.
Are you? Now, I want to ask you one other question. You said that your sister was a driver at one time, and another sister was a parachute jumper. That's right. So what's your mother think about all this? Well, my mother's
She wrestles alligators.
Well, I don't wonder. Well, I certainly would like to. My mother's interested, and she's here. Oh, she's here, Mom. Oh,
Come on, Mom.
Here, Mother.
Oh, he's
What do you
called
think
her
about
mother.
all
Oh, I
this?
think they're wonderful, aren't
Do
they?
you?
Yeah, I just keep my fingers crossed.
Where's the hot pass?
The
Where's your
faithful
passes?
followers of the great
Hey,
sport
get
of
back
racing
here.
are coming in droves. Some of them trying to get closer to listen to our
Oh,
interviews
and it's
with
slipped my
today's most
pants.
colorful
Oh.
drivers.
How are you? Okay, Tommy Thompson, the winner of the Detroit race last year, right? Yes, thank you. You're here for a pretty good job today, I understand, too.
Yeah, I'm gonna race a car.
Frank, but what are you driving here?
Oh, this is a 52 Chrysler Saratoga, Frank.
I understand you've been driving Chryslers for some time.
Well, yes, I'm prejudiced.
Looks
I
like
think they're quite a
modifieds in the back
automobile.
there.
I've used
He
Chryslers,
does.
for the past 2 years down here. In fact, they were the only Chrysler.
Hey,
the only
Galloway!
Chrysler vendors each of the last
And
2
we're
years
recording
in my
here. Come
car.
on,
You
folks.
No, I did not win, but I was fortunate enough to finish last year. The first year I didn't.
Pretty good. Well, you've been in the racing business for some time, haven't you?
Yes, I started back in 1946, Frank.
Wow, that long ago.
They built a
Yeah.
track in Louisville, Kentucky, and we started fooling around with those midget race cars as a hobby.
I see.
And
Yeah, then we
fooled
put
with those
water on them and they
things
grew
for
into
3
stock
years,
cars.
and then, stock cars as such came into vogue, and we switched our
See,
activities
stock
over to
car,
stock
hot
cars.
stuff.
Make a living at this?
No, and
Look
I
at that
wouldn't
guy
recommend it
in the
to
background
anybody.
smoking in the
It's a
car.
livelihood.
Well, how do you make
How much
a
is this car? Is that one for sale?
An engineer. I'm with a contracting consulting engineering firm in Louisville, Kentucky.
I see.
And this is just a hobby. And,
Well, it's a great hobby, all right, and I hope you have lots of luck today, Tommy.
fine. Thanks
It's
very
good
much.
to see
Frank.
you.
Pleasure.
So long.
Man, we need just some movie stars in here.
Headlights
seal.
are taped against flying
Flex tape.
sand and to avoid shattering glass. Motors are checked in last-minute tuning.
Just
You
like
like it when I did
The
that?
women who can only watch, wait and wonder, and get more excited as race time
what was
grows
that?
closer.
Barbed wire?
But
Yeah,
before
barbed
the
wire
race
on the
gets
track
underway,
added
let's hear another
excitement.
interview.
Yeah.
You look like a character I've seen in the movies. Could that be right?
Well, yes. How are you, Frank, this
Joy
morning?
Ray, huh?
Fine, thank
Glad
you.
to see you,
Glad
Joy.
to know you.
Oh,
What's
thank you.
the movie in?
I played in a picture called To Please a Lady with Clark Gable and Barbara Stanwyck, and I played in The Big Wheel with Mickey Rooney, and Ace in the Hole with Kirk Douglas, and Telegraph Hill.
That's a pretty good list, I say.
And
What are you
I
doing
drove
here?
a Buick
Tell us
and
what
Gone
you're
with the Wind.
Well, we're going to try to run this Henry J.
Well, that big wheel, I
And the
mean,
world's
it's Mickey Rooney.
finest
He's like a
automobile
midget
classic.
driver
This
or
is
whatever.
second
So
to none.
Yeah.
I don't bar even Indianapolis. This is really
some
one of the
people
biggest
speculate
tests
that
for an automobile
France
I believe
brought him
there is.
in to be a stunt driver to flip his car.
Yeah, that's right. It's
Oh.
only 161 cubic inches, just a little wee
Because
fella,
it's a
100
small little
inches long.
car.
100 inches
Yeah, he's got a
long.
little
Right.
Tykes
You're not
car.
very long yourself. How long are you?
I'm only 5'5" and weigh about 128 pounds is all.
How old are you?
I'm 40 years old.
40 years old. You
I
keep
got it
that
next
for
time.
a long
Remember
time, don't you?
Michael
Yes, I do.
Waltrip's
I've been at it
interviewing
20
somebody.
years,
How old
Frank.
you?
Well, that's
How
pretty
tall are
good.
you?
Joey, I'd like you to get a good look at you. This is Joey
Oh,
Ray.
look at the glare on his
And
head.
good luck to you
Ah!
today, Joey.
Thank you very kindly, Frank.
Oh, it's the Hawaiian Punch guys.
In all manner of dress. And
Oh,
fighters
we need a
from
bigger
all manner of
boat.
vantage points are anxious for
Curse
the
you,
moment
Red Baron!
half fearful, half hopeful that they'll see the spills and crashes that are
Twins.
almost certain to happen.
Modern technology. Whoop, got a
Larry
start.
Mondello.
The 60 starters are in line now. ready for
60
the
starters.
200
We know
mile
they're very
grind.
61.
2 miles up the beach,
Yeah.
2 miles down the road, plus 1/10 of a
That
mile
is a
to the
traffic
turn to
jam
the
right
end of the
there.
course.
Holy
A total
crap.
of 4 1/10 miles a lap.
There's Lloyd Moore.
This is the tense moment of the calm before the storm of the race.
Got
48
my
stogies.
laps,
The
filled with
Hans
danger.
device, right? And the
Yeah.
Look at them down there on the
and
beach.
fire
The
suits
road to the
and
left is the back stretch of the
5-point
course.
seatbelts.
Turn to the beach.
They
is
look
to
like
the left
peanuts.
foreground. The starter gives the last signal.
Hey, over here.
A bomb signals
Bomb
the start.
starts it.
Bomb,
They're
bomb,
up
bomb, 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 bomb.
gunning their factory jobs for a fast pickup. It's a thrilling sight to see them start to spread out along the beach.
Oh, it is.
Officials are on the alert for trouble.
Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
They're at full speed
NASCAR
already.
officials.
Kirkwood in 99,
Yep.
Lloyd Moore in 59.
Here we go.
Lloyd Moore.
40, Monty Clark in 14, and Herb Thomas in 92. They're battling for a
I think
quick
Lloyd
advantage.
Moore only ever won one race.
There they go into the north turn, leading
Tight
the back road.
turn there.
A car is skidding.
There we
Moving it
go.
all over. It's Smokey Purser, an old-timer who raced the 30. This was his comeback race.
Nope.
Nope, you're right.
Well, if he's okay, why doesn't he get out of the car?
Because he don't want to get run over by other cars.
There he is. Says his arm hurts, and, well, no wonder. It's broken.
His broken
Bless
arm.
me.
The race goes
Bless
on
me.
past the first accident, less than halfway around the first lap. The crowded
All right,
field
don't
is
worry.
still
They'll
bunched up
get
as they
the
turn out
truck
into the
and tow it
backstretch.
out there, right?
Oh, this is a thriller.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Caution.
it's still there.
There's barely room for passing on this narrow blacktop, and there are plenty of dangerous dips in the road. A pass they do in the last 2 miles of the lap, and one car's out of the race already. Herb Thomas in 92 is taking the
Look at
lead
that dude.
in the battle of the backstretch.
I know that. He doesn't have a photographer. Man, they're just standing right there along the road. Holy mackerel.
What's the matter,
Hey,
lady?
what's all about over there?
That car's foot is up. How can he see to drive?
I think he's giving us the
Here
finger.
they come into the south turn.
Well, he can't see. His hood's
Herb
up.
Thomas is 52 in the lead. Then Monty
That's
Clark
like
in
a
14.
competitive disadvantage.
Wow, that was
It
a close
is.
one. Lloyd Moore in third now, and in fourth is Marshall Teague in number 6. Teague, who was last year's winner, started 13th. He's a 225-pounder.
Look at those grandstands.
Yeah, look at that, man. Right next to the track.
Because racing's really his business.
That's right. There's a barbed wire. There's a fence there that holds them back with a
Yeah, there you
special
go.
force
Hey,
field.
over there.
Hey, look who it is.
It's
It's the
LB
hood
Ritchie
man.
from nearby Orlando, Florida.
Whee!
And he's taking it easy.
It's like carousel.
Herb Towers is still ahead of the beat, but Teague is taking Buddy Flock for second.
It's howdy doody time.
On the second lap.
Look at those cars. They're all over the place.
Yeah, they're spinning out there in the
there's
sand.
trouble. That sand is treacherous. Lucky
My
nobody-
GPS told me to turn left.
There's a flag man over there to the top of the screen there to the left.
That's a mighty
There's a
shot
grandstand.
turn from the road.
The Bill
And
France
Teague passes Herb Thomas
grandstand.
hard to the lead.
Yep.
He goes ahead. Thomas is second. Flock is third. They're averaging around 85 miles an hour.
85 miles an hour.
They're just
Yeah, that
8
guy was
miles
flipping him
from
off too, I
the
think.
start.
That's not
Teague
that's
number
not
6
cool.
has moved up from 13th to first. Herb Thomas at 92 is still second and Flock third.
Tide looks like it's coming in.
Lloyd Moore,
Yep.
59, the number 2 starter, is back and forth now.
Whee!
But still
I
running
love
ahead
how
of
they
pole
fish
winner
tail there.
Kirkwood.
Yeah.
On the beach, Teague pulls away from Thomas. If either of them wins, it'll be a Teague car because both cars belong to Teague.
That guy is
As a matter
smart.
of fact, he owns quite a stable of them. He's gained a lap on the field already.
You know, those Hudsons had a low center of gravity.
Contender in any
Which
race.
made them a good race
In fact,
car.
almost any driver in this race is tough competition.
I like
Well,
those
how
hats.
did
Get
this
those
guy
at the concession stand.
Thomas is
Yeah.
flying on the turn.
That's official. Oh, look over there.
Another skid.
I think he got him at
And
the
more cars
Curtis
flying
Turner
in this dangerous
collar.
turn.
Yeah.
There's passing as soon as they can pick up momentum on the backstretch. Teague seems to be trailing, but his number 6 is actually gaining a lap on another car. Herb Thomas at 92 is still crowding in close, in a position to resume the lead if anything happens to his teammate.
Yeah, he's not too far behind.
Matt Kirkwood passes Monty Flock and whips to third place again with Lloyd Moore number
Ooh,
59.
Robin is racing.
A close fifth after 4
I
laps.
saw that.
Mike Claypack at number 4, one-time sportsman class champion, is now 6th. "16 miles from the start. Teague in 6th leads past the starting line. Still
So
followed by
eight
Thomas,
laps in.
Kirkwood, Flock, and Moore.
Yeah.
This is a battle royal.
A
Yeah,
battle
there's Ric
royal.
Flair.
Tommy Thompson gets the signal. He's running 7th.
He's got a P in
There's
7.
trouble in the pit. It's early in the race, too. Down the beach, Teague passes every straggler.
Look at that
These are stragglers
water
too,
coming
even though
in.
they might not look like it. Whizzing past terrific speed.
They look like it.
There's
They look
Teague
like
number 6
stragglers.
right after them. Teague likes the high road into the north turn.
And he'll get to Scotland before you.
Look at there, another car
In the
turning over.
Navy.
It's our friend Joey Ray. It's almost the same place that Purser upset in the first
Oh,
lap.
there's our guy,
Treacherous, this could
Joey
happen to
Ray.
the best of them.
With
Track
his
officials rush to
little
help
tight
Joey
car.
Ray,
Our stunt
the movie
driver.
stunt driver. The race goes on at high speed. Joey's out. He's not badly hurt, but he and his light car are out of the race. There he is in
My
white.
hands are on fire.
Too. Runs off the beach are tremendous, even for those skillful drivers.
Look at all those people packed in close to the rail there, or rope, magic rope.
Hitting that turn.
Yeah, if a car gets loose in there, it's tragic.
What happened to Tim Flock, the second Flock brother in this race? Well, here he is at 91, but this doesn't seem to be his day.
No, look at that car bouncing around, man.
I saw that. You'll see some more of those.
This race is against the tide, too. It's coming in now across
Oh,
the
they're playing against Alabama?
It's the 8th lap. Go, Dick.
Oh, it's Dick Late.
Certainly doesn't seem to be Tim Flock's day, just like we said. Here he comes into the pit. The youngest of the racing flocks is having motor trouble and is out of the running. There goes Party Flock in number 14, still in 4th place. Except for the wives, Truman are the most anxious spectators
Hey,
of all. And
look
not
over
without
there.
reason. The sand has been too much for this fella, A.D. Yates, who started 12th. No
God.
wonder cars break down under this punishment. It's a wonder more don't as they come out of the south.
He's
turn
got a
to
flag on
Full
his.
beat.
Isn't that doing a little drag on your car?
Teague just keeps rolling along.
Yeah, he just doesn't know
He's
about
on the
aero,
same
does he?
speed course ever since he was a boy,
That was
and he's
before
wise to
Junior
every
Johnson
trick the
discovered
sand
it.
can play.
Mm-hmm.
That's not so with the rest, though. See what I mean? That fella's lucky to get his mount under control again.
In his car.
Teague never lets up, and he passes another. It looks easy when Teague does it, but this south turn from road to beach has spelled disaster for many a driver in former races. There goes one. That's really driving her. Number
I like the
22,
skid mark
that's Leon
sounds.
Dales.
Yeah, I know. That's
He's up
awesome.
there after starting 18th.
That
Teague
sand will
is mighty
eat you
slow
up.
getting out.
Yep.
That's almost like Lewis Hamilton.
Maybe. I thought that was Joe Logano there.
There he is. He's okay. But he's pretty excited.
I'm excited
Other
too.
drivers
Yeah,
unaware
me
of
too.
what has happened. Speed on past into the treacherous sand leading to the beach. Herb Thomas at 92 bounces along, still running second. Some of the most expert drivers use this spot of all places to pass the laggard. Now
Those
that
laggards.
Matt Kirkwood at 99 is a laggard, he's still running third.
Those laggards.
It's a
I've got my
beautiful,
eye camera.
exciting day for cameraman photographing Marshall
Got
Teague's
high-tech,
smooth Texas
iPhone
and
there.
hazardous north turn.
Yeah, no doubt.
And shooting the skidding and careening of others who haven't
Hey.
mastered the perils of the sand. The crowd is keyed up here in North Turn.
They are excited,
Look at
Peach
that pass.
Yeah, they're all keep an eye on what's going on so they don't get
It's
run
a thrill
over.
to watch the smooth performance of these beautiful late model cars just off the factory assembly line. And folks, no special trick gadgets are allowed in these cars. You and I could do as well if we had the same courage and skill that we see in these drivers.
If I just had some
Oh, look out there.
courage.
Yeah.
He never seems to be in trouble. Still leading the pack with Herb Thomas at 92, not far behind. Matt Kirkwood manages to hang on to third place, but Bonnie Flock at number 14 is pressing him hard.
God, he's bouncing around.
Up the beach goes a man in a hurry, and that's Marshall Teague, of course. Driving his number 6, he's showing why he's been able to win 4 consecutive major
He's
NASCAR
going
races
wide.
and 2 Grand National Championships.
I
Wide and
mean, 2
handsome.
championships, man.
Not even Marshall Teague is safe with Bonnie Flock around. Kirkwood at 99 knows that Flock is after him, so he's trying to get clear of the crowd.
You
and
can see
pick
those
up
belts
speed when he
holding
hits
his
the
door
beach.
together.
There goes Flock at number 14, passing on the turn and gunning his car through the sand that leads to the beach where he can take out for Kirkwood. And there goes Flock to pass Kirkwood and
I
move
see
to
it.
third place. The number 1 starter, Kirkwood at 99, has fallen back to 4th for the second time in the race. It is a no-quarter battle down the backstretch, but as they come to the south turn, Flock holds the lead.
Not much room on that road.
Just past the
No, it's
halfway
not. It's
mark
a
of this
2-lane road,
200-mile
man.
classic. The pace is still an average of around 85 miles an hour, which is terrific considering these rough turns.
Uh-oh, pit time.
Flock needs gasoline, so he makes a quick pit stop. While there's still time to make up
Go
for lost
sliding, burning up the beach course.
spectators are trying to keep tab on the fast-moving race, and Kirkwood moves to third
He had
place
time to light
again.
a cigarette.
But Block has tarried a few seconds, and he's back in the race.
You see, these cars have license plates on them.
Streaks are showing up
Did
for
they?
Teague as the
Yeah.
You know,
tires
he's got a
move
little
in.
splash and go.
Teague
Yeah.
rides high away from the
Now,
water,
Teague
where
is
the
smart.
sand is hard and
His
dry.
pit crew let him know that they're going to end the race early, so
Going tough here. Another
he
car
didn't
still
pit.
open to run to the north turn.
Yeah, they sent him a
That's
text or
wide
something, I'm
expanse
sure.
of loose sand before getting to the
I guess he
clay
didn't
patch
radio
of
him
embankment
in.
that leads to
Because
the road
they had
on
to
the back
communicate with those
stretch. But the cars keep on coming.
chalk
Sometimes
boards.
shifting
Yeah,
gears,
those pit
sometimes
boards,
pressing
yeah.
on and high.
And then there's no radios between
Sometimes
NASCAR
wheels
officials
come off
and
or motors fail, leaving drivers stalled on the backstretch.
the pit crew, so
Teague disclaims having any special technique, but it's obvious that he does little shifting in the turn. He goes into the straightaway in high
it just
gear.
seems like he coasts around the corner, not making any sudden
They've
moves
got their favorite spot
to cut
and away
that
we
sand
go.
down.
Over here.
Hey,
That's the
over here.
handyman, if he has time to look, that is.
Oh, here's
There's a
no
fellow who
pit.
needs a morale lift.
There's a gas
And his
man.
car needs gasoline to carry it the rest of the 200 miles. The motor's ailing too. This is
Something's
time for
wrong in
frantic
there.
action and frustrating waiting for the driver.
He looks frustrated.
Tommy Thompson's had to stop for gas too, but not for long. Drivers are getting a signal. The race has been cut to 150
There you go.
miles. Why? Well, the tide is coming in fast, and officials don't want to run the risk
Yep,
of racing on
Alabama.
too narrow a beach or having spectators' cars caught by the ocean after the race is over. Well, this change racing
Spectator
strategy for
cars
Teague
caught
at 6 and Thomas at 92, or leading 1-2.
in the high tide.
Teague hasn't stopped for gas yet. Can he make 150 miles on a tank full? Well, if he risks going the full distance and runs out of gas far from his pits, his risk may cost him the race. But he's keeping
Well,
his
he's
eye on
smart.
the
Or he can
gasoline
finish
gauge.
under fumes.
That's right.
Teague doesn't let up on his speed. He
He can just
passes
kick in
them
his
as
extra
usual
gas
on the
tank.
backstretch. Paul Pettit and Gober
Check him
Murphy
out.
battle it out on the south turn, hoping to do better as the race nears its end. Teague refuses to slow down, but his pit crew is anxious to give him just a little more gasoline. Every driver is getting strategy advice from the pits now.
Hey, guys, look over
Spectators know
there.
that any little thing can happen and affect the outcome of the race. For instance, a pit stop by Lloyd Moore, who started second.
Whoops.
Tommy Thompson even has to stop for a new wheel.
Somebody's crew chief
He's
is going
lost
to
the left
not be at the
front
next
one.
race.
Yep, somebody's in trouble.
Marshall Teague's crew
There's
is still
Tim
trying
Flock,
to
I
get him to
think.
stop for gasoline, but he goes right on past.
Yeah, it looked like
Up
him.
the beach they go, heading for the dangerous north turn, which can still ruin the high hopes of
Dun
the
dun
lead driver.
dun. North turn.
Look at those grandstands, man. Those are cool.
Yeah, that's the Bill France grandstand.
Teague seems
Yep.
to take the turn without a jolt. He's going to slot wide and high. That suits him well. Then into the backstretch. The crowd is always alert for something to happen here,
I see that.
and something does. That's a dangerous place to stall. Look out!
Yeah,
He
Whoa.
almost hit
that
him.
dude.
Those two more
Little
drivers are out
fishtail.
already.
Whoa.
Look out, look out, look out.
NASCAR officials wave flags to warn drivers away. Safety is an important factor in these races.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what that's why we have
Matt Kirkwood at
those
99
little
still
fences
might
up.
win if he gets a good break. Now what?
Party duty
Another
time
car has
again.
lost the wheel. This time it's Buck McCardle who started fifth.
Buck.
Another
Buck
crew
is-
chief
out of
and
the
tire
turn is
changer are going to
Buck
be
going without a
suspended.
wheel.
Yep,
Marshall Teague's
he's
crew is
out of
more
luck.
worried than ever about gasoline. It isn't Teague, but his running mate Herb Thomas who heeds the signal. Now if Teague should fail to go the route without filling up, Herb Thomas still can win.
There you
from
go,
Teague's
splitting the
stable.
difference.
Yep. Ferrari could learn
Herb
from that.
Thomas guns it. His crewman's hand got caught, and Thomas.
Oh, don't worry. I don't need that hand. Go, go, go.
Go. I don't need that hand.
Yeah.
Action continues on that ever-narrowing beach, and Marshall Teague in his number 6 keeps the lead with his almost empty
See,
gas
he
tank.
runs that
He's
really
still
hot.
making that north turn with the greatest of ease. Other drivers hit the ruts, though. Hey, what a place to stall.
Whoa.
I'm going to change my oil out here while I'm
Down the
here.
backstretch, Pat Kirkwood is doing his best to cut down the distance between him and the two leaders. Look out there. Bonnie Flock still in the running, too, hoping for a break. He manages to
That
pass
dude almost
Kirkwood
went
again
off.
in the battle for third place. The crowd sees Bonnie
They're
Skid trying to
excited.
make the north turn
God,
too
look at
fast.
Fonny, man. He's
That's not
like,
the break he was hoping for, though. He's back in the race now,
recalculating.
but it has cost him third
Recalculating.
place.
Yeah, definitely. I need to update this
The
GPS.
camera bug's busy,
There's a
and
cameraman.
car stalled.
Yeah, look at
That was a
that.
close call for Bonnie Flock.
It's amazing they didn't have more crashes than they
Every
did.
second counts
I
now.
know,
This
especially
is
it
the
looked like
next to
driving
last
Miss
lap.
Daisy.
A white flag signals one
There's
more
Johnny
lap
Bruner.
to go. Marshall
One more
Teague
lap.
still has gasoline.
So
Is
he
going up for a
likes
lap
to,
or
instead of being
maybe
in the
more.
flag
Who
stand,
knows?
be on the racetrack.
Yeah, very dangerous.
Very
If
dangerous.
not
You
running
can get
mate
hit and
Herb
knocked,
Thomas is just behind him,
10
and
feet,
he has
You
gas.
could.
which is
Apparently
what
safe at
happens to
third
him.
is
Look at that dude
Cuthbert
crossing the
with
track up
99.
there. Okay, I'm just going to cross the track right now.
A white flag for Bonnie Flock, too, still in fourth. Only a miracle can change things now, or maybe Teague will run out of gas.
Well, if you're Jimmy Johnson, that could be a miracle.
He gets a nice little bow there.
Yeah, a little curtsy.
Look out! Curtis Turner's having trouble getting back
Oh.
into the race.
Oh, man. Plowing up the track.
Lost the wheel.
Teague's pit crew is
Come on,
excited with
come on.
victory in
Oh.
sight. And number 6 still has gasoline.
Still.
Teague gets out of his groove, but keeps going. Only 2 more miles.
Another guy
Now
crossing the
the final
track.
stretch, Teague passes another. He can almost coast in now. Here he comes towards the finish line.
I think he's going to make it.
He
Winner.
gets the checkered flag
Yep.
and wins. He's gone 150 miles at an average of 84.65 miles an hour on 1 tank full of gas.
There's another dude standing out in the track. Look at that.
Show's empty right now. Here comes Herb Thomas in another Teague car. Thomas is second, just 21 seconds behind the winner, and he's done it despite a pit stop for gasoline.
He did good.
Pat Kirkwood, the man who drove fastest in the time trials, is third.
Yeah. I don't think Pat Kirkwood ever won a race, cup race.
And Bonnie Flock has persistently stuck to fourth. Something's wrong. The crowd scatters as Tommy Thompson skids across the finish line.
Tommy
Johnny
Thompson.
Brunner, the official strider, has
Yeah, I can't believe he did that.
He hit the starter.
He's not badly hurt. He's okay.
No, he just broke his arms and legs, but he'll be all right.
Tommy, he's not hurt either. And there's his car. Boy, he just made it.
Wow.
The race is over. The crowd runs to see the damage and to see the winner. Teague has run
And
out
they're
of gas.
spelling
On an
SOS
extra
in the
lap
sand.
around the course.
Gotta get our
Believe
car out
me,
of here
that
before
was
we get
real
stuck in the
close.
sand.
Yep.
Marshall Teague has got his winning 1952 Hudson back to the pits now. He's the only 2-time winner of the race. He's
How
made
come he didn't do any
terrific speed
donuts?
despite the almost impassable condition of the turn. And celebrating with him is Herb Thomas, who made it 1-2 for the Teague stable in the NasCar Stock Car Classic at Daytona Beach, Florida.
I'd say that was a classic. That was a pretty cool race, man.
That was a cool race. And so what's interesting about Marshall Teague, not him, Marshall Teague, is he couldn't race in that race. He had to pay a fine. His fine was not for something he did in NASCAR. It's because he raced in the Pan American race in Mexico.
Wow.
So back then, if you raced in other divisions or other races, France came down with an iron fist. He wanted you to race in NASCAR so you could accumulate points, and that would keep you racing in NASCAR and not the other one. So his fine was $574.50. He won $1,500 for this race, but he had to pay that fine first. So he brought home $925.50 for that. But I think that $574.50, that's a lot of money back in 1952.
Gosh, yeah, man.
For
that's
racing,
crazy.
this all he did was race in another race.
Yeah.
And we said that NASCAR only had 34 races in 52. I mean,
Yeah.
And the guys actually said, can you do this professionally? It's like, no, it's more of a hobby. You couldn't make that kind of money. I mean, first place, what we said was 1,500. Then it went to 1,000, 600, 500, 400, 200, 250, 250, 175. So it dropped pretty quick. Like we said, 11 was only $50. So,
well, back then, those guys, they raced for to feed their families. It was a job for them. Well, I guess it's the same thing now, but even back then, it was more amplified.
Right. And to make matters worse, the worst thing you do is show up to a race, damage your car, break your car, and get injured. And
Hmm.
so you got no money and no car. Everybody's walking home, or you're in the hospital, and you got to figure out how to get home. Whatever. That's why a lot of these smaller teams, well, later on, they would take care of the car because that's how they're getting home. Then they had trucks and trailers and other stuff. So even though Teague had actually, had a team where they finished first and second. So, but some of the other drivers, that was it. That's all they had. They didn't have a Hendrick 4 car, 5 car, or even let's go even back further, right? Raymond Parks, which is more of a kind of a super team back then, but it, it was a whole lot different. It's really cool, and the safety, man, how things have changed since then.
There was no safety. I mean, I don't even know if those guys even had seatbelts or not. I'm sure probably a lot of them had seatbelts because I mean the way they were bouncing around in that car, But you saw what they were doing. They were holding the door together with belts, with your belt from your pants.
Right, and those are regular cars because they were taping the headlights so they don't
Hmm.
get damaged. So, uh, pretty incredible. And again, we were showing the cards for the drivers. The flocks. There were so many of the flocks, and Bob Flock, Fonny Flock, Fonny Flock. They were. I guess their disadvantage was they raced pre NASCAR and then into NASCAR. So Fonny Flock, I think he had 19 NASCAR wins. He had a lot more wins before NASCAR, but you know, no one ever talks about him for the NASCAR Hall of Fame. But early years, he was winning. He just didn't race, a long time. And Bob raced earlier than that. When I mentioned Raymond Parks, pre NASCAR. If you have ever read or the audiobook of it, I think it's called Driving with the Devil.
Hmm.
That's a lot of that's all pre NASCAR, and actually has a lot of the NASCAR players, which would become NASCAR. Bill France and Red Byron and
Hmm.
Raymond Parks and Bob Flock and those drivers there and owners and uh, mechanics. So these guys, they're pre NASCAR and amazing drivers back then. So
Yeah, and Tim Flock, since he was younger, he got to stay in NASCAR longer. He ended up with 39 wins and 2 championships, and of course, he's in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. He was inducted in 2014.
right, there was another Flock which I didn't realize until researching this was Carl. He didn't race cars; he raced boats. And then we talked about the women, the sisters. Ethel, she rode a little bit, and then there was another one. I think they said that she flew or did something. So that whole family, I think their mom and dad was circus trapeze or something. So
Wow.
I think I don't say gentlemen or drunkies, but they had a knack for adventure and showmanship, I think too. So
They really did. They were a heck of a family.
amazing. And then and I don't know, I think you said they were mentioned Fireball Roberts
Yeah.
in there and Buck Baker.
Yeah. I think Fireball Roberts was driving the 11 car. Yeah. And we saw Buck Baker in the number 87 because
Yes.
he carried that number a long time, the number 87. Of course, we all know Buck Baker was inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame in 2013, and I think he won 46 races, something like that.
Right. And Buddy Baker's dad, who's also in the Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
father son combination.
So you saw Lloyd Moore in there, the number 59 car. He only ever won one Cup race, but he was a real nice guy. I wrote him a couple of times. I have a letter from him, and he even took in the letter. He took like those numbers that you used to buy at the hardware store to put on your mailbox.
Yeah.
He sent me in the letter. He took a couple of those letters, the 5 and the 9, and he said at the bottom, he goes, "This was my number." So I probably should have whipped that thing out. I didn't think about it. To
It's
show you.
okay. It's awesome. I mean, we do our spin is on with cards, and cards weren't readily available probably not until 1988. So a lot of these folks didn't have cards back then, or some of these legends and stuff had very few cards. But I guess where I'm going is, to be able to get some cards and get some of those things signed. Um, you had to get scrapbooks or whatever signed back then too. So
Or programs, or your maybe your ticket.
yes. So anything else you want to cover with this race? So it's before Daytona, like we said, they raced on the beach and road course. Whole lot different than the world that we know now. And again, this is in 52. NASCAR started in, what was it, 49? 48?
48.
48.
48.
So
Look
NASCAR,
behind me.
yes. But I guess where I'm going with this, NASCAR had been around a few years at this point, not like the 75 years it is now.
Exactly. Yeah, it was still a baby during all this.
Well, very much so. But
Hence the lack of safety and all the crazy things that we saw.
exactly. But it's awesome to be able to look at where we've been to where we are and pay homage to the folks, pioneers, and the 61 drivers that entered that race back then.
Yeah, I mean, you had to have some kahunas on you to run on that beach course. There's no doubt.
Yeah, and a little what's the other word I'm looking here? I don't know. Caution to the wind, because what's going to
Pretty
happen?
much.
So my rope, because I heard that some folks tied themselves in with rope, as it wasn't no 5-point seatbelt harness or whatever.
No.
Some of the younger guys don't realize there were seatbelts in cars, but nobody used them. It had a
Yeah.
lap belt. It wasn't until I think it was the 80s where it really got to be a big push. And when I started to learn how to drive, it was kind of mandatory that you had to wear a seatbelt. So
Mhm.
conditioned folks to always wear it. But you're talking about the 50s there. Even as a race car driver, you you didn't know, you didn't have the R&D that's available.
No, you
So
didn't. You're right. You threw caution to the wind, like you say.
and so everybody, all these guys were R&Ding for everybody else.
They sure were. But I do have a couple of artifacts here, a couple of things I want to show, from the race winner, Marshall Teague. I have this car, and it's a Franklin Mint car of his fabulous Hudson Hornet. It's a pretty cool car. It's, I like diecast. The hood opens up. You can see inside the hood.
That is nice.
That's pretty cool. And of course, the trunk, and the trunk's got a spare tire. It's got a spare tire in it.
Yeah, Curtis Turner could have used one of those.
He sure could have. So check it out. There's a jack and everything in there.
Nice.
It's highly detailed. And the door opens. Let me see if I can get the door open without.
They got a seatbelt in there?
It's hard to see if there is or not. I don't. Let's see.
It's okay.
I don't know.
I
That
can see
one.
the antenna there.
Yeah, this thing's very fragile. It's also very heavy. It's a Franklin Mint car. Yeah, it's got the little antenna, and it's got the hood ornament right here. So it's pretty much just like what they raced. I'd say this is a really good replica. You can see the underneath of it. You can see the exhaust and everything.
Yeah, no sand. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's no sand. It's amazing, but it's a really cool car. And like I said, you guys saw that they had license plates on these cars still. They just drove them to the track. So that's amazing. And then something else I've got too, which is really cool, is I have the passport for Marshall Teague, his passport. And his real name was Manly Pleasant Teague. And you see his occupation, he's a race driver. So, and he signed it there. And there's also later on, there's a picture. I'll show you his picture in here. This is
Well, you
kind
win
of
a few
fragile.
championships. You are a race car driver.
Yes. But see, Manly P. Teague. And you can see how it's stamped right there and everything. But it's not valid for travel in Hungary. So if you're wanting to go to Hungary, you cannot go there.
You're just left hungry.
But I thought this was really neat. In fact, PSA, this is an exemplar for them. They took this when they got this from me, and they validated it and authenticated it. They said we are using this as our exemplar. So anybody else that has this autograph will be compared to this. So I thought that was really cool. So yeah,
That
it's
is
an
awesome.
old passport.
Yeah, that cost them $547.50 to go to Mexico.
Yeah. But that's all I got as far as little artifacts.
Well, I was gonna say, I hope everybody enjoyed that, and leave a comment. Let us know what you like, what you didn't like.
Yeah.
And again, this is NASCAR Theater 350, and this was the commentary for the 1952 Daytona Beach and Road Course from 1952, February 10th. Guess
Yeah.
the weather was nice.
Look out! Look out!
Yeah, exactly. All righty. We'll catch you next time. And don't forget to check our weekly show, NASCAR Radio.
Yep.
All right. See you.
Thanks everybody.